Welcome to Health Professional Radio. So glad that you could join us. I'm your host, Neal Howard. Now, Sunday, February the 4th, is going to be a very special day. Of course, Super Bowl Sunday. Our guest is here today to talk with us about your cancer game plan. It's Pro Football Hall of Famer and former Buffalo Bill Jim Kelly's talking about his personal experience with cancer, the role education, family support, health, and nutrition played during his journey, and also his role in the Your Cancer Game Plan Challenge. Welcome to the program, Jim. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm doing well, First of all, I've got to ask you, who's your pick?
Well, I don't know about my pick, but one thing I would tell you is I would never bet against Tom Brady, so I am not going to do that. Number two is Frank Reich, my backup and a very, very good friend of mine that played for the Buffalo Bills when I played, is the offense coordinator for Philadelphia Eagles. So I'm pulling for the Eagles. I want to see a good game, and I like to see Philly end up on top at the end.
Great. Now, I was rooting for the Steelers, but since they blew it, at least, yeah, Pennsylvania's represented, so it's all good, right?
Yep.
Great. Now, it's also World Cancer Day, a very special day, especially for you. Give us a little bit of background into your experience with cancer, Jim.
Well, mine, of course, any time you hear the word cancer and that C word, it scares you. And for me, I've been through so much of my life that I never thought in a million years that I would be one being diagnosed with cancer. And I remember the day because when I left the office after the doctor told me that my biopsies came back positive for squamous cell carcinoma, which is cancer of the of your jawbone. And I went home, and my wife never heard of it. And, of course, she and my two daughters were devastated by the news. But the thing about it is my wife and them, first of all, said, you know what, we're all in this together. We are going to fight with you. We're going to be there you side by side, and so did my 5 brothers. So that in itself hurts. But and the thing is, as I look back on those days, and then I looked back on the last 2 years of being teamed up with Merck, I understand why they're doing what they do, because I wish that was put in place. Your cancer game plan was put in place back when I was going through, because we had nowhere to turn. We didn't know what it was, who to talk to, what do we need to do, all those things. But now, through what we've been able to do and what Merck's been able to do, we are now reaching out to people that thought they had no chance, thought they had nowhere to look. Now they can, and I just challenge everybody out there in the next 30 days that log on to yourcancergameplan.com, click on the website. You'll see about 19 advocacy groups there. Pick one, and for every one you share on your network, Merck will donate $5, and that itself hopefully will raise hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars for these groups that are trying to make a difference for all those people out there.
Jim, talk about, you mentioned that your wife didn't know what it was, had never heard of it, you had no idea. That lends itself to a bit of fear. Talk about how learning about your cancer maybe alleviated some of the fear and allowed you to, latch on to some of that hope.
Well, one of the things that brought the hope is I even go back further. When my son was diagnosed, we had no clue. We heard of leukodystrophy, Krabbe disease. We're like, what is that? We have nowhere to turn. So we learned firsthand before I was even diagnosed with cancer. So it got hit between the eyes with both of them, my son and now daddy. And for me, it was scary. And when Merck came to me and we talked about this and they told us what they were looking forward to doing, I'm like, it's a no-brainer for me and exactly what I needed a few years back. And the people that I've talked to since, we've launched this campaign, they totally get it. They understand why we're doing it. So everybody out there, jump on board. You need to know, you need something, we're there for you. And if you can help by sharing all these websites for all these advocacy groups, you're going to be doing something for somebody. You will be making a difference for some of those people out there that think they don't have it tomorrow.
You talked a lot about the family rallying around you, your brothers and your wife and your children. And Talk about some of the support that's lended and found out about through your cancer game plan. A lot of people, as you say, think they don't have any hope. They're by themselves. You had a nice family around you, but some people may be by themselves. Talk about some of the support that can be found through the Your Cancer Game Plan.
Well, number one is it's your attitude. And we have people that we could talk to. For me personally, as you just said, I remember walking the hallways at two hospitals I was at, and there's people, like you said, that don't have people that's there. I remember even going into people's rooms and giving them flowers that I had sent to my room because I wanted to see that smile that would be put on her face. I know what a hug will do. I know what I love you and a good attitude around you. I remember my daughters walking into my hospital room say, Daddy, you look so good. How you doing today? And just the attitude that people can have and the people you can talk to that can make you feel good about yourself and feel good about your outcome that will be coming. So I personally have been very blessed, but also I've been through the ups and downs just like everybody else. But one thing, to be honest with you, when I travel, I realize I don't have it that bad. There's so many people out there that have a lot worse than I do. And if I can be a difference maker in what they do and their attitude, and I understand why the good Lord put me through all this is to be able to prepare me for what I'm doing now.
Now, once again, let's talk about the Your Cancer Game Plan Challenge. Now, it's all to raise funds to, for cancer support, cancer research, cancer patient organizations. Tell us again how we can get involved in this Your Cancer Game Plan Challenge.
Well, it's really advising other people, talking to people that you know that have been having problems, even in the nutritional side, which I didn't know about before, eating better, going to the right people. Just everybody out there, log on to yourcancergameplan.com, click on the site. You'll see about 19 advocacy groups, what you might be going through or somebody you know might be going through. Share that on social media so people understand where they can go to get the help that they need. And as I said before, you know what? I wish it was there when I was going through my tough times, but unfortunately it wasn't. But you know what? I have some good people in my corner, and not everybody, as we spoke about a couple times before, that don't have that. So we're here to help, and hopefully we will be a difference maker.
And not just for the patient, it's for the support group. It's for your family to help them with their emotional needs as they care for you. That's correct, right?
Exactly. It's the caregivers. And the caregivers are not always the nurses that you have in the hospital with you. It's the people that come, your friends that come, your family members, how they are around you, how they keep having to make sure you have that positive attitude. Because when you walk into a hospital and somebody's not feeling good, and I'm perfect example, when I wasn't feeling good and I'm thinking, oh, my Lord, what's next? And you have your family walking in and people are taking care of you and they got that smile on their face and they're upbeat. That helps so much to make you want to fight, want to continue to do it, and want to have a tomorrow.
Well, I thank you so much for coming in today. It's been a pleasure. And I'd like to get some updates, if I could, in the future on the Your Cancer Game Plan and see how you're doing, okay?
Roger on that one, then hopefully I'll be able to give you some good news.
Thank you so much. You've been listening to Health Professional Radio. I'm your host, Neal Howard, in studio with Pro Football Hall of Famer and former Buffalo Bill Jim Kelly. Transcripts and audio of the program are available at healthprofessionalradio.com.au and also at hpr.fm. Subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, listen in and download at SoundCloud, and be sure and visit our affiliates page at healthprofessionalradio.com.au and also at hpr.fm.